Hi everybody, this is Wes Fryer, and in this video I'd like to give you an overview of what we're calling a lesson cast. And as I record this in July of 2020, obviously the capabilities of Google Hangout Meets and Calendar and Drive and these things, are at a specific point in time. They may get upgraded as we go along, but this is how we are recommending that teachers can capture and share a portion of their lesson with as few clicks as possible with students. So let me first tell you kind of what this is not. This is not designed to be a live video conference. That students are located remotely and you are teaching both face-to-face and live students. This is going to be something you're going to record in advance. I'll also say I don't think this is a best practice for remote learning or distance learning. In other words, the best situation for your remote students is if you can record lessons with them that are shortened and specific for them, also being able to engage them live when you're able to do that. All those things are a best practice, but simultaneously doing that is just not a best practice. And so we're recommending this when you don't have the time or the ability to do other alternatives, but you just need to record part of a lesson that you're doing live for students in class. So here's what it is. A lesson class is a recording of part or all of an in-class lesson that you're going to share later afterwards with your students. This is one of many ways that you can share instruction and lesson content with your students using video. And this is also a fast way to share a video with a minimum number of steps. Because obviously creating and sharing videos can get really complicated. And so we wanted to find a way that you could do this with a minimum number of steps. And so basically, there are pros and cons to different methods. The primary method that we recommend is going to be to use Google Meet. And as you can see, this has the fewest steps, but on the downside or the cons, it also requires more bandwidth. In other words, every teacher in your building might not be able to do this simultaneously because we're pushing live video up at the same time, and we have to have enough bandwidth on the internet or connection to the internet to do that. So there are some other options as well, and you can lesson cast with Google Drive or with YouTube. Both of those are going to require a few more steps. The files can get larger. That can take longer to upload, and so that can be a disadvantage. But with Google Drive, you can use a shared folder where everything you put in it, anybody who has the link can view those files. YouTube is actually fantastic because it optimizes for the device. So if students happen to be on a phone or a tablet or they're on a laptop, whatever they're on, or the connection speed is not as fast, YouTube does a really nice job showing them the best quality video that is possible for the device and the connection that they have. But primarily, when you're talking about lesson casting, if you can, you may want to think about using Google Meet. So we've got some guides here as well as some tutorials that you can access and utilize. All these resources are shared under a Creative Commons license. And so this is just a little introduction, but you can access all of these resources on our website for instructional support for teachers, which you can find on support.cassidy.org. And when you get into the module section there, you're just going to look for the section on lesson casts to find these resources. And we hope these are useful to you and they're beneficial. Please feel free to share these with anybody you think might find these useful.